guys, Brian here from Audio Geek. I'm an audiophile from sunny South Africa, even though it is very cold here. It's a freezing winter, especially in my town Bloem. We've got some temperature extremes. We always go from like temperatures into the 40 degrees Celsius and also back into the minuses, -6, -7, -8. So a lot of temperature extremes. No, I do not have lions outside here. I know when people hear about Africa, they think there's lions and all that stuff. No, we don't have those things as pets here. We've got normal dogs, we've got normal houses here, and that's South Africa. Today we will be looking at a very cool product. Ted over at DITA Audio sent us over the DITA Audio Prelude. So I know there's already a couple of reviews out. I didn't read them. I wanted this feels to me like a very special IEM. I've gotten to know Ted before he even started sending me stuff, and he's a really cool guy, and I was really curious about what the guys at DITA Audio are doing, because there's so much audio companies out there, and they all try, you know. So I'm very intrigued to see what DITA Audio came up with here. So let's get right into it with the unboxing. As you can see, it's a really nice white sturdy cardboard box. We've got the Prelude on here. The back just tells you the specs, and then let's open this thing. So the white cardboard just slides off. You are greeted by this. So we've got the instruction booklet. If you left that off, oh, this is nice. This is nice. So if you look here on top, you will see they've actually included a dongle deck in here, which is a very nice gesture. Saves you from having to buy another one, and the cool thing is this looks the same color as the monitors. So this is a big cool case. It's bigger than the ones you normally get with IEMs. This thing will fit a lot of stuff in. When we open the case up, we've got our cable, and then have some ear tips. So I see they've included some these transparent, these are white bore, the transparent ones, and then obviously there's some silicone tips in here. They look like balanced tips. They're not really narrow bore, so they're not going to be for bass. I think these are balanced tips. They're not as wide as white bore. They can maybe be white bore, but it's in between white and narrow bore. I would say these are balanced tips. One thing I'm noticing about this cable now, and I hope every single audio company sees this. Please guys, this, do not include this on your cables. Please do not. This thing, you have it on a cable. Look here. You have it on a cable. This thing sticks. Look. Everywhere you go, everywhere this thing gets stuck. I hate this thing. I hope audio companies never produces these things again. I've said it in so many of my reviews. This is nothing against the Prelude. This is just a personal, I hate these things. And it's on every single IEM you get these days. I wish they can take that things away. Okay, so then you also have your two monitors inside here, with the DAC included. There we go. Look, the packaging is very sturdy, and I think what you are getting here for the price, I'm happy. We will get more into the physical build and look of the products once we get to our look and build section. So for now, the unboxing experience, DITA Audio, well done. This packaging looks really premium, and I'm feeling that I'm getting a premium product here. They did not rush. It was clever planning, doing all of this. So yes, big thumbs up from me on the unboxing part, DITA Audio. So if we get into the look and build of the Prelude, the first thing I'm going to say is they've already scored some points with me. If you've read some of my previous reviews, you know I'm a very, very big lover of metal shells. I don't know if it's because I've got a motorcycle workshop and I'm in the shop all day working with metal and iron and stuff like that. I just feel it's a strong material, it's built to last. So whenever a company sends me an in-ear monitor and I take it out and I see a metal type of shell, then I'm already impressed. For me, it's durable, it's a nice material, it's built to last. Not to say that I don't like resin earphones, I just prefer metal type shells. These are done very beautifully, by the way. You can see the nice music logo there. The red is a very nice red. It's a dark red, and the color is also not glossy and in your face. It's a very sophisticated look with a matte they were going for here. I like the little silver ring around, gives it a nice premium look. I can feel the build quality on the shells themselves look very sturdy, and I really think these things are going to last a long time. Inside, when you just open the packaging, they send you some of these transparent whiteboard tips, and they give you an extra pair already fitted onto the monitor, but it's not my size. I've seen the previous one I've gotten from TRN. They also send you an extra pair they put on there, but it's always medium sizes. Maybe these guys must just put on their stores is where you select your product. Maybe you can just select the size of the one that they send you that's already fitted onto the monitor. I know it's a bonus, but it will be cool getting the bonus one in the size that you normally wear. If I go into the cable, please ignore now that what I said about this little devil here. I'm going to put that right outside. If I look at the cable, it's nicely built. I always test a cable by holding it like this and see if it coils around your house. I'll do one day with an effect audio cable. Those are premium cables, and those things, they coil around your hand like a snake. When you feel one in person, you will know what I'm talking about. This cable feels very sturdy, like the metal connectors here. It's a one braid here at the bottom, and then you've got your 3.5 millimeter connector here. Yeah, nothing wrong with the cable. At the price, I think it's a decent cable. If we have to look at the ear tips they provide, you will see it's two packets. It's one packet with two different types of ear tips inside. There's the silicone ones. The silicone ones, they feel like normal silicone ear ones. These transparent ones, those are the nice ones. I prefer these to silicone ear tips. If we have to look at the fit, you can just take these off. You can just do a quick fit here and see how they fit in the ears. I normally don't have a problem with fitting in-ear monitors, as I have very big ears. As you guys can see, I wear large tips, so where people with smaller ears always get a problem with, oh no, it's not fitting me, it's too big for my ears. I don't have that problem. Let's see how these go in. Okay, so they do have a bit of long stems. I can feel the stems are long. They are protruding a bit from my ears, but not that much. This fits awesome. This fits awesome. There's no cable slider included here that I can see, but it doesn't feel like I need it. The cable is light. I think we can get some fatigue-free hours out of the fit. It's not hurting my ears at all. It is in deep though, but I feel the fit is very nice. Then if we look at the case that they give you here, it's much bigger than some of these round cases we are getting from all the companies. You can fit a lot of stuff inside here. I also like the canvas material. One thing I don't like is you get these leather lookalikes, and I've even experienced it with some of the much more expensive, the $500 and up type of IEMs that I get. They send it to you in a case that looks like leather, but it's fake leather. I mean, if you're paying $500 for an IEM, you at least expect genuine leather. So I appreciate it more if a company sends this canvas material, because I know canvas is sturdy, it's durable, it can last, and at least it's not fake, you know? So I know they're giving me something real here. Overall, I'm very, very happy with the look and build. It looks very, very sophisticated, I have to say. And I'm now very anxious to try these. So we have to move along to the next section now, which is the connectivity one. And then after that, we're going to try them out, play a couple of songs. I'm actually going to listen to them for a week, and then I will report back here with what I found. Okay, so we are back with the connectivity part of the review. This is where I tell you everything that you can plug this in-ear monitor into. It's got a 3.5mm plug, so if you want to use it without the dongle that they give you, you can basically plug this into any cell phone that's got the 3.5mm port. I know not a lot of phones have these anymore. That's obviously why DITA Audio included the DAC. But if you do have a phone, I've got an Oppo A78 Plus. That's one still got it. Some of the Samsung phones, like my wife's phone, I know that one still got the 3.5mm. I've actually got 3 different models of the LGs. As you all know, the LG phones are stunning for in-ear monitors. I've got the V20, the V30, and the V40. I'm looking around on eBay for a V60, but I'm playing a lot with DAPs nowadays, so I'm not into the phones so much. But I've got 3 LG V phones. You know, those phones are great. If you can't afford a DAC, or you can't afford a DAP, digital audio player, then I will advise you to get one of those phones. If you're a mobile phone user, get one of those. If you look at the DAC, you can also use this with your laptop. If you've got a new laptop and it's got a USB-C port, you can use it with your laptop. You can use it at your PC, or you can just get one of these little USB-C to USB converters, and you can use it on your PC or laptop if you don't have the USB-C connections on your PC. As this DAC was designed for these phones, for these in-ear monitors, I would suggest using it with this, as this was designed for that. It's also the same color, so it makes a real nice set. Yeah, like I said, you can hook it up to basically everything. I can go to my DAP, I can go to my laptop, I can go to my tablet. And that's basically the whole connectivity part. Alright guys, if we look at the specs, it says here that the Prelude comes with a single dynamic driver configuration. It's a 10mm dual magnet, twin baffle, composite polyethylene and polyethylene. That word's a very big word. Terephthalate diaphragm. The frequency response is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. I really appreciate that, because you get these companies, then it's a cheap earphone. They tell you that thing can go from 6 hertz right up to 65,000 kilohertz. It's nonsense. I really appreciate the honesty here from DITA Audio. The impedance 32 ohms, pretty standard. They are going to be easy to drive. You can drive them from your phone. The the dongle that they included will also easily drive this. The sensitivity is 108 decibels per milliwatt. That's also right up there. You will be driving this earphone to insane levels just with your cell phone. If we look at the cable, it's an oxygen-free copper dual-core twisted cable. And obviously your connectors is gold-plated, 0.78 millimeter, 2-pin. Your analog plug types, 3.5 millimeter. Your chassis material is aluminium. That's the specs. They've got a little thing here for the DAC amp, the Deh. They say max resolution 384 kilohertz to 32-bit. The total harmonic distortion is minus 85 dBs. All in all, pretty impressive specs. I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary here. Just for all of you guys to have the info on what driver configurations are used and what the specs are. Okay guys, so we're back with the sound impressions part of the review. For me, the Prelude is definitely a W shape, and it's always difficult to describe an earphone because all our hearing differ, and as we age, our hearing, we also experience hearing loss. I mean, guys in their 40s like me can only hear up to about 16 kilohertz if we are lucky. So treble is difficult to describe, but I will do my best and be as honest as possible. For me, it's definitely the Prelude is a W shape. With the upper mids was a bit prominent for me. Bass was less prominent. The bass was the least prominent of all three, and then also the treble was also less prominent than the mids. So the mids stood out for me a bit, not in a bad way. I'm a mids lover. The music genres I listen to mostly is an acoustic guitar, the male or a female singer. That's the type of music that I enjoy the most. It's the most relaxing for me. So for me personally, the Prelude suits me very well. So if we look at the bass on the Prelude, I said in my intro right now that the bass was less prominent than the mids. It's not a bassless earphone, this one, guys. Bass is there. I started with the sub bass, and there's this new song, or not a new song, a song I got from my TikTok feed from Shaggy. It's called Go Down Deh. And man, the thing with reggae bass is you think of those big 18-inch super scooper subwoofers. There's a lot of sub bass in reggae music. So I chose this song, and there was some sub bass rumbling in the background, but it was not very prominent, but it was still there. It's definitely not for reggae music. This is not a bass head earphone. This is designed more for audiophile type music, if I can call it that. You know, your jazz, those type of things. There's not deep, very deep sub bass. The sub bass definitely rolls off, but it is still there, and if you listen for it, it's there. If you go into other types of bass, one song I like to test based on is Inertia Creep by Massive Attack. I use that song a lot in my reviews when I listen for bass especially. The slam was there. The mid bass on the Prelude is phenomenal. The slam was definitely there. It's much easier to type these things than to talk about them. If I would have written the slam is there but there was no oomph, you would understand, but now it's difficult for me to explain. There's just that little extra bit of warmth missing. If you go to another genre like electronic dance music, I personally won't use the Prelude on any electronic dance music. I don't think it was designed for that. But still, if you get songs that doesn't have a lot of sub bass, but indeed has a lot of mid bass, then the prelude sounds really good. There's this one song I've got. It's called "The Bass Don't Lie" from Basement Jackers, and I have to tell you that driver kept up really well with the mid bass on that song, because it's a fast song, it's a punchy song. And sometimes what you get is I call it fake bass. So what happens is, if you've got a driver, and I experienced it a lot when I still had my home stereo setup with the big speakers and everything, if you don't have a powerful enough amplifier to control your woofer, and to take that woofer, move it forward, stop it, move it back and stop it, then you get, if you don't have enough power, your amplifier is not strong enough, you get an overextension, because the amplifier can't stop the woofer. That's what you get. I call it fake bass. I think other people call it muddiness. There's nothing like that on the Prelude, and that also shows me that the provided DAC by DITA Audio has more than enough power to control this woofer. I also checked out some a bit more refined bass. There's a song by Nils, the Nils Lofgren band. It's called Bass and Drum Roll. Now, if you want to listen for bass specifically, that song is awesome. Still, sub bass wasn't that prominent on that song, but I really enjoyed. And I'm going to speak about the mids later, but this is where the mids come in, because there's an acoustic guitar in there that is just so smooth, and it actually makes me want to forget to listen for the bass. But still, it's a very, very good song to listen for bass. Like I said, it's not a bass head earphone at all. Don't buy this thing if you are a bass head. If you are a connoisseur audiophile, then the Prelude does make a lot of sense, especially at the price that it is going for at the moment. As I said in my intro on the sound impressions, the mids was very prominent for me, and when I was listening for mids, I ran into a bit of a bugger up. So there's this song I always use when I want to evaluate the mid-range, especially for male and female voices, and also for the guitar and stuff like that. And that song is it's Mark Knopfler and Emmylou Harris, and it's our Shangri-La, but it's from their live. I think it's All the Road Running or something like that. It's a tour that they did. It's on that live album, and I listened to this song, and nothing impressed me. And I was like, what the hell? My first time when I just put them in, had my initial impressions, the mid sounded freaking great. And I checked, and I saw I had the white silicone tips on, which is it ups the bass. So I used them to evaluate the bass, and I still had them in, and they took away from the mid range. So I immediately swapped them with the transparent tips, and it made the guitar and both those voices much more prominent. Mark's voice had that low ruskiness, you know, that sitting in a jazz bar with all this smoke, he's got that type of voice. It brought that out. Emmylou Harris's voice, smooth as a nightingale. She sang beautifully. There's also another song I use. It's I don't think I've never really checked if it's a cover who sang the original, but it's that song from Gotai that somebody that I used to know. But there's a version that Walk of the Earth does, and they have that acoustic guitar going very high, and there's certain pings of that guitar I listen to when I listen for mids. And that song also, the Prelude brought that guitar out a lot. It's the type of music you have to listen to if you have the Prelude. There's another song by Ben Howard. It's called Black Flies. Again, guitar, male vocals. Man, those two were way up front. So if that's the type of music that you like, I'm going to put in the description. I am going to put all of the songs that I mentioned. Yeah, I'm going to put them there. Have a listen. The Prelude does vocals really, really well. I picked up, there's no sibilance on any tracks. If you like Rolling Stones, Howard produces male voices. If you like the Rolling Stones, there's a song, Laugh I Nearly Died. Man, Mick Jagger's voice sounded in its prime there. Also with higher pitched male voices, like Freddie Mercury. I'm a big Queen fan. I listen to Too Much Love Will Kill You. Man, when Freddie starts hitting those notes, and the Prelude, that driver does mids amazing. I don't know how they did it at DITA Audio, but for higher pitched male voices, it sounds very, very nice. And I don't know if it's that little boost in the upper mids I saw on the graph. Regarding female voices, I like Sarah Kay. So she's one of my favorite singers. Her, Jennifer Wands. I like the old type audio file stuff. Not Diana Krall. I've just had too much Diana Krall at every audio show I attend. I just listen to her songs too much. So I like Sarah Kay. Her voice sounded like a nightingale. Every song I listen to from her voice is always up there in its own space and time. So the mids sounded really great, guys. Guitars, the mid part of a piano sounded sublime. This is what the Prelude is made for. When I evaluate treble on an earphone, there's a certain song I always use as a reference. It's Rock Me Amadeus from Falco. There's a lot going on that song. The instruments, they reach very high pitches. There's a trumpet on there going nice and high. There's a violin on there. When I listen to the song with the Prelude, with those transparent ear tips, man, the trumpet was in my face. But it was not screeching. Sometimes when you get a bright IEM or earphone, the treble screeches with a high-pitched trumpet sound. The DITA Audio is turned a bit down in the treble, so it doesn't hurt your ears at all. The violin dominated though. Those strokes, you could hear every stroke, clean cut, clearly going very high. When you look at the other instruments, I call them the cymbals that you operate with your feet. The audiophile nerds call them hi-hats. To me it's a nerd word, I'll never use that word. So those cymbals that you operate with your foot, you find them a lot in jazz recordings. There's a specific jazz song that goes very high, and that's used as a reference for treble by many engineers. It's Lonesome Lover by Max Roach. And I have to tell you, those little cymbals that you work with your feet sounded absolutely amazing on the Prelude. So the treble is done right on this IEM. It's not bright at all. It's also not warm. For me, it's between balanced and warm. Sometimes, especially with this song, this Lonesome Lover, if you've got a bright IEM, you better turn the volume down because it will hurt your ears. And I did not experience this at all with the Prelude. So if we move on to the soundstage and other technicalities, soundstage is really not anything to write home about on the Prelude. For me it was normal. I couldn't really make out if it was more wide or it was deeper. Soundstage is really normal. I mentioned the transient responses when I mentioned the treble. It's phenomenal on the Prelude. That driver keeps up with very busy tracks. I listen to some of my classical tracks because that's where I'm listening. That's what I listen to when I listen for the transients. And man, that driver keeps up with all those up and downs. The Pratt, the bass rhythm and timing is something to write home about on this prelude. So I listened to Billy Joel's Matter of Trust. Now, if you look for Pratt, you want something that's going to get either your feet tapping or your head moving or you're playing air guitar. Then you know an earphone has got great bass rhythm and timing. So Billy Joel, Matter of Trust, I was into that whole song, got my foot tapping, took my memories back. So the technicalities top notch. Alright guys, so to wrap up this review with my conclusion, I think at the selling price of $159, or it's 2,890 Rand in South African ZAR, the Prelude for me personally is a very, very good price for an earphone sounding like a much higher priced earphone. Who do I think should buy it? Well, if you're an audiophile, this is a no-brainer. You're going to be very happy with it. If you are a newcomer to the scene, the normal path most of the guys take is they buy a cheap pair, then they get tired of it, and then they upgrade to a little bit more expensive, and then a little bit more expensive, and it becomes kind of like a rabbit hole. So if you want to do it right from the start, buy something decent that's going to last you a long time, and you're going to be happy with the sound. I think that the Prelude there is the answer. With me, because I get a lot of units for review, I don't keep all the ones I get for reviews. I keep in my personal collection. In my personal collection, the DITA Audio Prelude is definitely going in there. I just did a little upgrade with the cable. So this is the old cable. It's a little bit thin. Now, me personally, and you've seen it in a lot of my reviews on a head fight, and I don't like thin and flimsy cables, so I've got this one, which is nice and thick. It's the $479 NMD Audio Mist cable, and oh boy, does this Prelude scale up with this cable to some amazing sound. So I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars, 4.5 stars from me. DITA Audio, you did well. Till the next review, guys.